Paris by Paris headlines. We begin in Lafayette, where some residents are demanding a return of park police. About a half dozen people attended a meeting at the J. Carlton James Activity Center to discuss this issue. They say park police could have stopped the party in Moore Park last week that ended with a deadly shooting.
And we're asking, demanding that the park police be brought back to Lafayette Parish and the city. That it be put back in the budget and it remains a part of Parks and Recreation.
Meanwhile, the former park police chief says his officers did work after traditional business hours, contrary to what an LCG spokesman said. Oscar Benoit tells our partners at The Advocate some of his officers worked from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m., while others worked from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. Benoit also said his officers routinely worked overtime. The LCG spokesman told the paper he was misinformed and erroneously said park police shifts ended at 5 p.m.
New information in a deadly shooting in St. Mary Parish. Baldwin police say the victim's husband is facing a second-degree murder charge. Sonny LeBlanc Sr. is accused of shooting Sandra LeBlanc at a home on Newman Street. LeBlanc Sr. is in the parish jail tonight.
Say his name. TJ! His mother hasn't heard from him in 3 days. Say his name. TJ! No justice.
Those protesters claiming police brutality and demanding answers. The Acadia Parish Sheriff's Office says TJ Yoakum was wanted on domestic violence warrants and ran from deputies and was injured when he was tased. Sheriff KP Gibson says the incident is under investigation and review because Yoakum's injuries required a hospital visit. Now, that outburst was one of several that happened during Tuesday night's Crowley City Council meeting. A debate about the city's budget got so heated that the mayor called in the police chief to try to settle things down.
The mayor, as presiding officer of the council, has to give me the direction. I will keep the peace. I'll try, and I've done it a couple of times, with a couple of councilmen, kind of slight tap, but the mayor's the one to officially say remove them, and at that point I have to do what the mayor instructs.
Funeral services are now set for former Lafayette attorney Lane Roy. Roy died Saturday night at the age of 75. Visitation will take place from 4 until 8 at Delome Funeral Home in Lafayette, and the funeral will take place Saturday at 12:30 at St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church in Grand Coteau.
In Acadia Parish, FEMA mobile registration intake centers open tomorrow. They'll operate tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday from 9 until 4:30 at Crowley Church of Christ and at Esterwood Park. Those centers will serve as points of information and registration for victims of Hurricanes Laura and Delta. In Opelousas, mosquito spraying operations are now underway. The flights will happen twice a week for the next 2 weeks. They'll happen between 6 and 11 on scheduled nights. And to see the city's schedule, just check their Facebook page. Coming up, we'll meet the candidates for 16th Judicial District Attorney. That story coming up at 10:20.
But first, Bradley's full forecast. You're watching Acadiana's News Channel at 10 o'clock.
Forecast. Here's KATC meteorologist Bradley Benoit.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, warmer temperatures continuing across Acadiana through the rest of this week. Best rain chances tomorrow and Friday, but they'll be coming back down as we head through the course of the weekend. We'll break it all down here in just a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the bigger picture here. And again, high pressure continues to be off into the mid-Atlantic, but we continue to see that east-southeasterly flow at the surface across the region, and that's kept things on the warmer side the last couple of days. In fact, we officially hit 87 degrees here in Lafayette this afternoon. So if you're looking for that extension of summer, hey, maybe this weather is for you. But if you're looking for fall, we are going to have to wait a little while longer. Now, that high off to our east will start to weaken tomorrow, and that's going to allow for a few more showers to develop into tomorrow and Friday afternoon. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. But first, I wanted to switch gears to the tropics here. And this is Major Hurricane Epsilon, but I can't stress enough that this is in the central Atlantic, so nowhere near the Gulf of Mexico nor us here in Acadiana, but you can clearly see that well-defined eye here as it's a major hurricane strength. The fourth of the season, of course. We had Laura Teddy, Delta, now Epsilon here. Just to the south and east of the island of Bermuda, has winds of 115 miles per hour, so is a Category 3 hurricane. But as we put the track forecast into motion, thankfully it'll stay just off to the east of the island before eventually heading out into the North Atlantic and weakening as we head into the weekend. So running it through with Futurecast here through tomorrow morning. We'll be warming it up into the lower 80s by lunchtime. Partly cloudy skies, but those clouds will be building through the course of the afternoon. And then by 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, we'll be watching a shortwave trough that'll be moving in from the west throughout the day tomorrow. That, along with daytime heating, will help to generate at least a few isolated storms tomorrow afternoon. We'll hold rain chances at around 30%, but any activity that does get going with the heating of the day should start to quiet down by tomorrow evening. And then we kind of do it all over again heading into Friday. Partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Latest Futurecast kind of backs off a little bit on the rainfall, but we'll still hold rain chances at around 20 to 30% throughout the course of Friday afternoon. So morning low temperatures waking up tomorrow morning. We'll see those lows in the lower and mid 60s for our northern parishes, mid 60s right along the interstate, and we'll be in the mid to upper 60s along our coastal parishes. And then it'll be another warm one throughout tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures back into the mid 80s, and then that'll be the case as we head into Friday afternoon. Those high temperatures settling into the lower and mid 80s with isolated storms possible both tomorrow and Friday afternoon. So those low temperatures back into the mid and upper 60s tonight. Mainly clear skies this evening, giving way to some patchy fog a little bit later on tonight into tomorrow morning. Mid 80s your high tomorrow afternoon under partly cloudy skies, and a few isolated storms getting going tomorrow afternoon. Rain chances at around 30% with an east-southeasterly wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Next 10 days, again, 30% rain chances heading into Friday. Weekend looking pretty good, still on the warmer side with high temperatures in the lower and mid 80s, and then we'll stay on the warmer side through at least the first parts of next week as well. Guys?
All right, Bradley, thanks. Still ahead tonight, the federal government sounding the alarm about potential election interference. We'll have that story and other election headlines coming up in 2 minutes.
Election headlines. The U.S. government says Iran and Russia are working to interfere in the presidential election. The director of intelligence accusing the countries of obtaining voter registration information to bring about unrest in multiple states. The government also accuses Iran of sending threatening emails to voters in several states.